Hello, this is Julia, and today we have a unique opportunity to talk to an American soldier who is now on the front line.
Yes, I can hear you well. I'm over here not too far from the front lines here in Ukraine. This is a monument here. They call it Stella. It's for a nearby city that I cannot pronounce very well, but it's about an hour from Zaporizhia area. So this is an area that has been attacked very heavily because of how close it is to the front lines with the Russian artillery. It's well within range. Since this full-scale invasion, over half of the population of this area, a little bit outside of Zaporizhia, has had to flee because of the destruction from the Russians.
Yeah, so Matt, you are on the front line again, but I thought that you ended your contract actually last year. And just a quick intro here, okay? So Matthew Sampson, he was on the front line for about 2 years defending our country and then spreading awards about Ukraine. Now he's back to the front. So Matt, what brought you there?
Yes, I am back near the front line. I did take a couple of videos earlier today that I will post here maybe later on today where I'm even closer to the front lines. I got into one of the operations centers also and got some video of that I'll be able to post. You are correct. I did break my contract last year because I was on my way going back to the United States for a while. So I'm here just as a civilian right now. I'm not under contract. I don't work for anybody. I'm here just as a civilian and just very passionate about what's going on here. And I haven't been here since November. So I wanted to come here myself and see exactly what's going on at the front lines and talk to the military intelligence here to get a full report about what's actually going on, especially in the last couple of weeks and the last couple of months. Been able to talk to quite a few at the front lines here and also the command. Okay, we're back.
We are back. Thanks
So,
God. Awesome. Yo, so you were breaking up and we didn't hear about the current situation on the front. So my question was how the current Trump's policy affected the front line. What do you see over there?
so first off, right now it's raining a lot. It's one reason why it's actually pretty quiet today as far as combat is concerned. There's not a whole lot that can be done when it's raining like this. Drones can't fly, so that means there's not too much artillery today. So that's good news. Uh, Talking to those that are at the front lines, the morale is high. They are very excited to continue fighting and they want to keep fighting. They just need the help to do so. I did specifically ask about just how is ammunition, and weapon supplies just in the last couple of months, just out of curiosity, because I've heard a lot of things go around the internet. And I was actually very surprised to hear there's been no new ammo shortages or any new weapon shortages over the last 3 or 4 months. So the
Nice.
same problems that the front line was having 4 months ago, 6 months ago, and 8 months ago is the same problems that they're having today. They are not having, from what was reported to me, they're not having any new problems today for ammunition and weapons and supplies that they were not already having 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and 10 months ago.
Yeah. So we can assume that the current Trump's actions hasn't affected the front lines yet.
According to the commanders that I talked to that spend a lot of time on the front lines, they told me no.
Okay.
So that's what they told me, and they reassured me that morale is high, and they are very eager. They're eager for peace. They're very eager for peace and the fighting to stop, but they want their land. And
Definitely.
they
Of
want the
course.
invading forces out of their land.
Yeah, definitely. That is what we are fighting for. And what is the biggest challenge for soldiers right now?
I'd say right now they are having a little bit of a tough time with everything that's going on in the media and how much of some of these headlines are going around in the media about how decisions are going to be made about Ukraine without the Ukrainians giving their input. So that's something that they told me, that they hear that possibly the United States and Russia are going to be talking and making a decision without Ukraine being involved, and Ukrainians want to be involved with whatever the decision ends up being.
Yeah, so much uncertainty in the media right now. So many decisions to be made by the US government, right, by other leaders that we cannot influence. But obviously, Ukrainians, they want to be involved because that is our country, that is our freedom and independence, and let's say lives at the end of the day, right? All right, so I also know about that upcoming event, which is Ukraine Summit. It's gonna be held this weekend and early next week. And I know that you are going to visit it with a certain message. So what message will you bring to the US leaders?
That's a fantastic question. So yes, I will be returning to the summit. It will be my second time at the summit. I plan to arrive hopefully in Washington, D.C. on Sunday night for the summit. And my primary message will be that the America supporting Ukraine's sovereignty is first and foremost here. And that as an American that has zero connection to this country, I don't have any relatives here. 4 years ago, if you would have asked me something about Ukraine, I would have no idea what you're talking about. So I had no connection to this country, but I knew what Russia does when they invade a country, and they're known for doing some pretty bad and evil things. So for me, as an American war veteran from two previous wars, I feel connected to this place just to see a country that's just trying to live an independent life from oppression and from this invading force that's been fighting them since 2014. And that I see that if I can feel a connection to what's going on here, that every other American can also feel that connection as well and work hard to pursue what needs to be done to actually end the fighting and end the war.
Yeah, thank you, Matt, and we really appreciate your contribution. We understand how important your word is in front of the US leaders, and we understand that it directly affects actually the future of our country. And I know that last year when you visited Summit, your speech contributed to $60 billion aid package. We have huge hopes for the upcoming summit. Before we ramp it up, is there anything else you want to share with our audience?
So for the summit last year, just to clarify, that was back in April. I was brand new to all that. I had no idea what I was doing. There was over 500 people there representing 47 out of our 50 states. It was fantastic. I got to meet some of the most hardworking advocates that are working mostly in the United States, but also abroad as well, that are advocating for Ukraine, and also some fantastic reporting individuals that are doing their best to really get the information out there about what is really going on here in Ukraine, both the foreigners that are here, the Ukrainians that are fighting, people that are getting injured, just everything that's going on. So I was one of over 500 people there. The only part that made me a little more unique was I had just recently returned from 635 days here doing combat operations during that time, and that was something that the other delegates that were there just didn't have that kind of time. So I was able to be there just as a subject matter expert of what's going on at the front lines from an American warfighter perspective, and that was something that I got to help just a small amount of what led to a yes vote for an aid package that was, yes, worth $60 billion. So it was myself working with over 500 other fantastic, amazing people that a lot of them are returning for this summit that is happening. It's this coming week. This is going to be summit number 6. So they do this twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall. So the one that's coming up next week will be the 6th summit that they've done so far.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. And what you are doing, it's a huge contribution to our freedom and independence. And I would be happy to talk to you once you're on the summit. So we will have live broadcast right from Washington, D.C. We will give the exact day and timing later on. I wish you, Matt, to stay safe at where you are now, to have a safe trip to Washington, D.C., and to have productive meetings over there.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time and your questions.
Thank you, Matt. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Goodbye.